The Raw after any of the big four pay-per-views always feels special, and last night was no different. Why? Because Samoa Joe finally made his main roster debut, and it was awesome. We've been waiting for this since dinosaurs roamed the earth, and here we are in January 2017, and it happened. Good grief. But based on the article by Scott Carlson that you can read over on WhatCulture.com right now, it's this week's ups and downs, where a good thing on Raw gets an up, a bad thing on Raw gets a down, and there's always one thing that's really confusing, because that's Raw. Sometimes Raw is really confusing. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, so sit back, relax, get comfortable, because it's time to get to upping the downing. Samoa Joe on Raw, finally. He could have been rolled out in a paper bag and this still would have been amazing. So of course, it's an up. Coming out of nowhere to smack Seth Rollins in the face as he was about to confront Triple H, it was shocking, special, surprising, sexy. Well, no, not sexy. Okay, maybe a little bit sexy. But it's a much deserved promotion and begs the question, how does this all tie in? Is Triple H taking a step back from his Mania 33 match with Rollins to let Joe have that position? Will Triple H be in Samoa Joe's corner for that match to make it feel a bit more exciting? I'd be alright with that. I'd be down for that. I'm excited for that. On the flip side, does this mean that it's Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins at Fastlane and Seth Rollins just going to beat Samoa Joe? So I'm not down for that. I'm not excited about that. I don't want that. I want Samoa Joe to go on a tear. Regardless, it was a great way to come off the back of the Royal Rumble with a really hot debut on Raw. I, for one, am ready for this, but I'm more ready to see Samoa Joe as a permanent fixture on Raw. Happy days. I also enjoyed the opening to Raw, so that's getting up as well. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens walked to the ring and then proceeded to tell everyone how awesome they were, and how awesome they were at the Royal Rumble. And to be fair, they are awesome, and they were awesome at the Royal Rumble, so they deserve this moment to tell us. However, then that familiar scream just rang out throughout the arena, and Braun Strowman himself made his way to ringside and told Kevin Owens, "Hey pal, you owe me a title shot." Now, usually in wrestling, especially Raw, this is just because I want one, so therefore I'm getting one. But this time, WWE actually played footage from a month ago where Kevin Owens said to Braun Strowman, "You know what, buddy? If you help me out here, you're next in line for this bad boy." Which was a wonderful spot of continuity. It made me feel like I need to care about every part of the show, because if I don't, I may not pick up on something later down the line. You never do that, WWE. Thank you. Owens then spent the rest of the night moaning to anyone who would listen, while also planting more seeds for the Jericho-Owens breakup, because Jericho was like, "Why should I come to the ring for your match with Strowman when you weren't there for my match with Sami Zayn?" Which is a good question. You gotta love a slow build, and this is the slowest of all builds. It's getting me pumped. It's getting me ready for it. You would assume it's going to be over the US title at Mania 33, and that's okay. The Universal title would be better, but what are you going to do? I then liked the subsequent match between Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman. So that's getting on up too, and yes, that's 3 ups in a row. Don't worry, the downs are coming. But seeing Braun absolutely muller Jericho beforehand by chokeslamming him through a table and then having a decent back and forth brawl with Owens did its job and set up the spot that it needed to. Which was, of course, Roman Reigns turning up on Raw, getting his revenge on Strowman for the previous night, and then seeing Kevin Owens and going, "You know what? I'm going to give you a spear too." And this leads to our first down of the day. Unfortunately, last night, WWE didn't really give us any more of a hint as to what is to now happen with Roman Reigns. If this isn't the start of a heel turn, and someone backstage actually thought, screw it, just put Reigns at number 30 for the hell of it, then everybody has gone absolutely crazy. If there was a reason for it, then that's okay. But if it was just to, say, negate the fact that some people may not like Randy Orton winning, that's not how you use talent. You don't stick talent in the middle of things, just hope the other thing works out. That's nonsense. Which brings me to another down. I've actually got no problem with Reigns and Strowman clashing at Fastlane. I actually think it could be pretty good. But does this mean that WWE have spent all these months building Braun so he can lose to Roman? Because I don't want that, and that makes me really sad. It certainly doesn't feel like this is the time to have Braun lose, but at the same time, that does feel like the direction we're heading in. I mean, it makes sense. If you want to get Roman ready for The Undertaker at Mania, let him beat a dominant big guy. But it doesn't feel right. It's not the time. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it thrice. It's It's not the time. This is obviously me assuming, so I could be completely wrong, and to be honest, I hope that I am. Where I don't think I'm as wrong is when we start talking about the segment between Seth Rollins and Stephanie McMahon. Wasn't that into it, to be honest, so it's a down. The culmination with Joe at the end of the show, as we've already chatted about, was awesome, but I just cannot stand any more Stephanie McMahon running down wrestlers. Why did this have to be there? Why couldn't have Triple H addressed all of this at the end of Raw? All this did was make Seth look a bit weak. It was also a bit strange because at one point in the night she'd told Kevin Owens he didn't have to have his Universal title match, but then after another chat with Mick Foley, she just decided he did have to have that match. Now maybe I missed something here, but I'm pretty sure this is the confusing part of the evening. I just can't keep up with Stephanie. I don't know if she's good, I don't know if she's bad, and I just want to know. Let me know, and I can either buy into that or just decide I don't like it. Seth Rollins did threaten to beat up Triple H's kids though. So there's that. Yeah. In other news, we also had literal ups and downs when it came to the Cruiserweight division. The down was the match between Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali. For starters, as usual, they were given no time, but also the finish made no sense. Last week, I was being told that Ali was the hot new thing and I should get behind him, and then he just lost. Then we had an interview with Nese conducted by Austin Aries, and it was kind of like bad guy talking to bad guy. I mean, both were fine, but I was sat there like, what am I meant to take away from this? What is the benefit? Is this a feud? I don't think Aries is coming back for a while. I didn't get it. The up, however, was of course Neville. Is he the best heel on the roster at the moment? Maybe. I got a good feeling the answer is maybe. He came out, cut an awesome heel promo which resulted in the culmination of the feud between himself and Rich Swann. Swann was all there being like, man, I'm such a baby face, I'm not going to attack you now, I'm going to wait until my match at the right time. Neville's like, screw you dude, I'm a bad guy and I'm going to attack you, but then Swann was like, oh, I've got the power of the baby face and I got the upper hand at the end of this. I loved it. I mean, it wasn't anything super special, but it worked and it felt important. If we can just get some much needed stars into the Cruiserweight division, as long as fix a few other things, everything is going to be okay. I hope. I was a huge fan of that Brock Lesnar segment, so it gets an up. What I love the most is how willing Lesnar has been to look weak. Now, usually with pro wrestling, you want both guys to look strong because then whoever wins comes out looking stronger. But given it's super likely that Lesnar will win in their rematch at WrestleMania, which Heyman challenged Goldberg to last night, that's just going to make it feel all the more important when he does win and hopefully can allow WWE to then relight Lesnar and get him back to the unstoppable monster on top of the mountain. It just feels different to me and has two mega superstars in the mix. The bottom line is, I want to see the third match. If I want to see the third match, then WWE has done something right. The mixed tag match between Charlotte, Gallows and Anderson and Bayley and Sheamus and Cesaro was fine. It was decent, it was enjoyable. But it's getting it down. Here's why. I've got no problem with Charlotte and Bayley continuing to be in each other's business until we get to WrestleMania. Keeps all that going, keeps the momentum alive, and hopefully culminates in Bayley winning the championship at Mania. Then all this feels like a nice journey that we were a part of. The down I mentioned though comes in the form of these two warring tag teams. We've seen them go at it for weeks now, and at this point you've got to ask yourself, what else can we do? Can we really put the belts back on Sheamus and Cesaro so soon? And if we do, where does that leave Gallows and Anderson? It's a lose-lose. I've got an odd feeling that one of the proposed matches at WrestleMania 33 may be Sheamus versus Cesaro, and if that's the case, I get it. You've got to eke it out a bit. I'm just tired of this program now. That's nobody's fault, it's just run its course. Like everything in life, everything eventually runs its course. I didn't really understand the Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks match either, so it's getting a down. Maybe I missed something? Jax kicked the crap out of Sasha Banks again, but that's fine because it does seem like this is all leading to a Banks heel turn. If that is the case, she can lose and get pummeled now because it gives her the motivation when she wants to become a bad guy. But the bell rang before she submitted, and then there was an awkward few minutes where I just felt terrible about myself, as if I was in public and all my clothes just fell off. I would guess in the long run, Sasha turns on Bayley to let everybody know, yes, I've done a heel turn. So does it turn out that somehow Bayley got this bell to ring early? I mean, why did the bell ring early? And why did the commentator stop talking? Was this a mistake and no one knew what they were doing? I didn't get it. I didn't know what this was. I don't know what the purpose of it was. Let's just ignore it and pretend it never happened. Final down of the day, but did we really need to see once again Enzo and Cass versus Rusev and Jinder? Okay, sure, this time around they were all allowed to be in the ring, but what purpose did it serve and why again are we treating Rusev like this? Rusev, the best person on the entire roster, treated like a jobber. I don't like it. It just felt like it was there for the sake of being there, which in short means it's filler, and everyone involved is worth more than filler. But at least we didn't see the New Day and Titus go at it again. So small mercies. And that was Raw, and we are most definitely on that road to WrestleMania. And I said it yesterday on the Raw Rumble ups and downs, but I think it's a pretty good road. Sure, there are holes you can pick at, get a giant stick and just jab at them, but I think the card looks good, and as we all know, I'm excited about it. The only big question I have is what is going to happen with Roman Reigns. Because if it is Roman Reigns and Undertaker at Mania 33, Reigns ain't getting cheered. He's going to get booed more than he's ever got booed. So here's what I think they should do. And yeah, I'm an idiot. And what do I know? But have Reigns beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. If you want to make that guy the most hated dude on the planet, have him beat the Phenom on the grandest stage of them all. Now let us know what you thought about Raw in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and you can come follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. Now I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and I hope you enjoyed Raw. And if you didn't enjoy Raw, technically you did still enjoy Raw, because now you can go moan about it, and moaning is like a pastime for people that love to moan. I will see you soon.